Not too shabby, but we can expect many good things about this upcoming series. In the meantime, Hot Lady chose the first battleground. It is Cursed Hollow. Now, teacher, do you remember, like someone told us that the Chinese translation for the map names were sometimes really cool. Do you remember what it was about Dragonshire? Like,
big dragon
like
village? Giant dragon town or something.
There we go,
like
yeah,
that.
something along those lines, yeah.
I am bringing up the translation for Cursed Hollow right now. Camera loaded. And Cursed Hollow is Progenitor Curse Valley.
Curse Valley sounds really good. I'm not sure about the first word, though.
I don't know what is progenitor. I've heard the word before. Hang on. Let's find out while the draft starts. Progenitor.
Okay. Well, feels good to have a native speaker on the stream.
Progenitor. A person or thing from which a person, animal, or plant is descended or originates. An ancestor or parent, if you will.
Huh.
Neat.
Okay.
We've learned. So it's basically Dad Cursed Valley. Parent Cursed Valley is what it is. What the map translates as, sorta.
Maybe it means something along those lines of ancient. Ancient Cursed Valley.
Maybe it says ancestor, so ancestor Cursed Valley kind of thing. I like it. I get it. It's all good. And your word of the day is progenitor.
I like it. Sounds fancy.
And, here's a question. Before seeing as, for starters, target bans coming out with the Brightwing quickly.
Definitely.
So, just out of interest, did Thomas the Tank Engine make it to Germany? Is that a thing that happened?
No, I don't even want to imagine what Thomas the Tank Engine would look like in real life. I have weird images of Sergeant Hammer in my mind right now.
You don't know what Thomas the Tank Engine is? Oh,
do you know what Bim Bambino is?
Touche. Yeah, fair enough. But you know who Ringo Starr is, right?
Yeah, he was the drummer of the Beatles.
Okay. Exactly. There was a children's TV show called Thomas the Tank Engine about a train on Snowdon Mountain or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was narrated by Ringo Starr, and it was the most relaxing children's TV show we ever had. And it taught you about the values of friendship and hard work.
Here we go. Now I'm gonna have to look that up after today's broadcast.
Just because the voiceover makes it worth. Ringo Starr voiceover is great voiceover.
No, in Germany, we at least to my knowledge, we only had Lukas Lokomotiv, like from the Augsburger Puppenkiste. But I don't know. It does ring a bell, probably.
I understood some of those words.
Yeah, it's like like the Puppet Box of Augsburg, which is a city in southern Germany. Actually, not too far from where I live. And, you know, they had those puppets, and they basically made those puppets talk on television, and the main protagonist was a train called Lucas.
Yeah. Where it's same here, where the main protagonist is a train called Thomas, with his friends Gordon and James, and others that I don't know the name of. For now, though, we have Valor Ariel, very standard. Tassadar stolen away from it, though, so we don't get that triple setup. Lunara so far has been allowed.
Right.
Apparently also George Carlin currently narrates as instead of Ringo. To be fair, Ringo is very old.
As most Beatles are by now.
True. Some aren't even alive.
But their music remains timeless.
It is probably one of the most influential bands ever. So, pretty down with that.
So, let's talk about this draft a little bit. Although we are kind of getting to see the same picks and bands again compared to the last series, we see a little bit of a deviation coming in here because that Brightwing is a targeted ban against Hot Lady, as Tetra said. They have two players in their ranks, namely 365 and Again, who both excel at playing the Fairy Dragon. Brightwing is very dangerous in the hands of those two players with those Emerald Wind polymorph combos. It also pairs up really well with other supports, like, let's say, the Ariel, the Tassor, the Uther. Yeah. Very flexible pick these days. And keep in mind, guys, it is the live patch. So, the reworked and slightly buffed Brightwing is ready to be deployed.
Which goes to show how often I turn the Wi-Fi on my tablet due to the fact that his queues, Brightwing's queue on my app still is what it used to be. Where it doesn't add the extra range as default.
Alright. Now, we see that Illidan being deployed once again. Like, Illidan seems to be the go-to choice whenever you kind of running out of options. The fact that Chinese teams drafted into an Arthas every single time is mind-boggling, but if you saw last game, you kind of start to understand why, because one tiny mistake and Illidan will punish you hard, even if there's an Arthas on the enemy side. And once again, like, that Tassadar Rhaegar is nice and all, but it doesn't necessarily provide a lot of crowd control effects against that Illidan. So as long as he can avoid getting hit by Arthas, the slowing effects, the root effects, he should be fine and dandy.
Yeah, he should be able to keep up relatively well.
Yeah.
So, Lunara definitely a viable choice for SOA here. This is the third time that Illidan has been picked into an Arthas today.
Yeah. And it really is crazy, like, especially if you consider that both Illidan games that we saw were being played with the Metamorphosis. Like, normally if you go the hunt, you can say, like, okay,
yeah, just
my range is so large, I can just dive for the backline without Arthas hitting me immediately. But with Metamorphosis, you're normally, like, right in the thick of things. So this is just so weird.
I tilted so hard the second he picked it. I was like, okay, so they can gain an advantage back here because they've picked bad. They can gain an advantage back by just leaving it in the top lane, getting some soak, and having him pick the hunt. And then he started rotating, and that's when I was like, okay, nope, he's messed it up. He's taking better. He's a fool. And then he picked it, and I tilted. For now, we have Cassia and Sonya as a reaction to that Illidan, as I lag up to 20 seconds, and Stitches is picked.
Yeah, Stitches is picked indeed, and that is quite good news for Hot's Lady, because next to Butcher and Wang, I would actually consider Carlo one of the best Stitches players in the league, and Wind, of course, from CE. Can't forget about him. So that's really good. However, the Cassia is an exceptionally strong pick to counter deal. Not only does she have the blinds, she also takes reduced damage from his auto attacks whenever she keeps on moving. So Tetcher, which draft do you like better?
Excellent question here. I am actually concerned about the Stitches because I'm not sure how much Carlo has played it. I'm checking now.
Carlo's pretty good at the hero. I mean, his win rate might be a little bit 50-50.
Yeah, 50-50. 12 games, 6 wins, 6 losses. Not so bad. I like it. But the Stitches is going to have to turn it up today. He has to basically... They have to kill Cassia or they're going to die, basically. They need to not hook Arthas or they're going to have a horrible time, unless the plan is to hook Arthas into their back line and have Illidan jump into the enemies and just hope that Arthas is distracted enough with not dying.
Next level team fight analysis here by Tetra. No, but I think you have a legit point. Like Tetra really needs... Illidan really needs to... I mean, Tetra, you could also die for the backline. But Illidan really needs to avoid Arthas, and a good way to do that is actually to get him out of the way with a Stitches Hook. So, that's going to maintain some truth to it. We're going to find out in a bit, guys. We're diving into the action here. Game number 1 between Hot's Lady and their opponents today. It's none other than SOA. Let's go. Right now, coming right at you on the left-hand side in the blues, we've got the Hot's Ladies with 365 on the Uther. Again, plays Ariel. Feed B on that Vala. Kid is on the Illidan, and Carlo plays the Stitches.
Whereas on the right, it is Start Over Again with Faye on Sonya, Uncle G on Rhaegar, TY on Tassadar, Spark BZ on Arthas, and Molly bringing out the Cassia.
Alright, so you know what, Tetra? I'm gonna stick to SOA here. I really think they prepared a nice draft to counter the Illidan. Although, in the last game, we actually saw a very nicely dedicated draft against that Illidan as well. And it was only in the last couple of minutes when KT decided to throw the game out of their hands. So as long as SOA doesn't repeat the same mistake, I think they're gonna be just fine.
I too am sticking with the SOA prediction. We are already seeing Uther getting 9 stacks in less than 20 seconds here in this game. So good job on his.
Need to stand in those side storms, and you're going to be fine.
Exactly, you got this. Silver Touch stacks coming out already. We also have Cassia going with the charge strikes. No matter how much you change, that's just too much of a good ability. Although in Open Division yesterday, we did see Impale coming in instead of Surge of Light at level 7.
Yeah, that is kind of cool to see. Also, I think yesterday it was in HGC China, we saw the level 4 talent for Cassia as well. The
Inner Light.
Yeah, the Inner Light, really sweet. Basically, whenever Cassia gets stunned, rooted or rooted, she's going to drop an automatic instant of her blind, and it also passively increases the radius of her blind by 25%. So against Illidan, that is just a golden ability, quite literally. You really want to have that one.
It is very useful. For now, we are seeing Kid chilling in the bush. It is just the two-man, the assassin plus support lanes in two different lanes, actually. Both teams. It's the melee assassin and the support in the top lane, if you count Sonya in this case, and Tassadar as the support here, which is very much going in favor of the Sonya Tassadar, and the ranged assassin and support in the bot lane.
Yeah, the great thing
the
about
tanks just do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, auto attacks, they won't touch the Cassia very much. And the top lane, of course, is getting dominated by that Sonya Tassadar lane because A, Tassadar has greater mana sustain, and B, Sonya has greater life sustain. So there's no chance for Uther and Illidan to really hold it. In the meantime, we also see Illidan rushing towards that Siege Giant camp and starting it off. So Uther's now gonna be completely all by himself, trying to interrupt Sonya a little bit.
Rhaegar's done the same, though, in the bot lane. Yeah. I am reloading as well. Rhaegar's done the same in the bot lane, leaving Cassia completely alone versus Valor, meaning that they are Valor and a support, meaning that this should be bot lane getting pressured really hard, thanks to Ariel especially not having to go back for any mana.
That's very true. Very true. So mana management is of the essence on Cursed Hollow in particular. Like, if you show up to a tribute fight without enough mana, you're going to be in trouble. And oftentimes, even like 20%, 30% is not enough, because a tribute fight, if both teams commit to it, can last more than 1, 2, 3 minutes even. And then you really need to start it with a maximum amount of juice.
Let's do a quick time sync while we know, right before the tribute fight.
Gotcha.
8.
I'm sitting at 8 too. Perfect.
That'll do. As we see Arthur's move in for Carlo, who's trying to wade in the room. But there's body blocks all over the place. Kid trying to put the pressure onto Fei E to give them a good chance to escape, but with Stitches already down, it's down 365, who will suffer because he just wanted to help.
Kid is going back here because the Uther is still alive and the fort was shooting at some of the enemy heroes. But good luck trying to run away from Spark BZ on that Arthas. That, of course, is the big threat of an Arthas. If you get caught out of position and you don't have a teleport, you don't have a dash, then you're more than likely going to fall. And so they're not stopping here. They are continuing the attack on that top fort and will only stop once they're running out of minions to absorb those shots.
So level 4 talent, Ring of the Leech for Cassia here,
Seems
and
good.
the Kala's Light for Tassadar, because he knows that he needs to drop it on basically everyone, and everyone could use that armor. Sonya going for focus attacks, and we do see Cassia going with the old classic, the Surge of Light, not going for the new Impale here.
Yeah, the Impale is an interesting one, but you know, the explosion on your D-trade is also very useful, especially when you have the blinds available. You can deal a heavy amount of AoE damage. Yeah, especially against all those melees, I agree. Like Uther, Stitches, Illidan. Those are all going to be very nice targets.
Kid, speaking of Illidan, taking some bruiser camps right next to the tribute. Looks like this one's just going to be ditched by SOA. They don't want to try and contest this. In fact, they're going to attempt to make a play on top lane, and they should get a 4 from this. With Uther down, there's very little defense. They're just going to let Fei tank this. Tass will keep dropping shields, and that will be the first fort of the game, going over to SOA in exchange for a 1-1 on the tributes.
Yeah, that's definitely a good trade if you ask me, because the fort is permanent. You can't get it back, whereas tributes are going to spawn only a few minutes later. Now, take a look at Arthas here. He's holding on to his level 7 talent. It was probably going to be either the Icebound Fortitude or the Immortal Coil. Now, that might be due to the fact that he's still contemplating, or he still wants to play a couple of mind games with his opponents. Looks like he was contemplating and thinking about it. Sometimes you just want to ask your allies as well in teams if you're not 100% sure. You're like, guys, do we need that? Do we need this? So Immortal Coil makes a lot of sense, because how many stuns do we have, Tetra, in the enemy team?
Hook
and Uther. Yeah, and that's
Uther, Claimant Strike, Rain of Vengeance. Actually, every single hero can take a stun on that team.
Yeah.
I would like to see them react by doing that. Like, you've seen Arthas has not gone for the good big stun resistance. Take Rain of Vengeance, take the Hunt,
even Divine
just
Storm.
Go all in on CC. Yeah,
exactly.
You know he's purposely weakened himself just out of assuming what you're going to take. Punish him for that.
Exactly. Of course, the big advantage of having that Immortal Coil at your disposal is the increased self-healing. And also, even if you landed on, even use the Immortal Coil on an enemy, the healing is still going to bounce back right at you. So, a little bit more consistent sustain, but in the thick of a team fight, it might not be enough. The Icebound Fortitude really shining when you're getting focused from all different directions.
Both bosses get the gate And that's about it. Heroics hit at about the same time for both teams. There is the hunt. Gorge and Raid of Vengeance. They take that CC. They do go for Divine Shield though, because there's an Illidan on your team. You don't want to lose you don't want to lose Divine Shield for that. And in response, it is going to be the Army of the Dead, Wrath of the Berserker, Ball Lightning, Force Wall. Ooh, and I can't see what Rhaegar picked because I'm lagging. I assume it's Ancestral Healing.
He hasn't chosen his heroic ability yet, but there's no way we're going to see a Bloodlust. In the meantime, Hook goes down. He followed up Gorgeous good, and Arthas needs to help his ally in need.
He needs to help indeed. Moves forward. Carlo looking for another opportunity with Gorge already down. They were not able to get a kill. Find Rhaegar though, but Rhaegar in wolf form is able to mount away. Carlo gets CC'd, but is able to pull back.
Okay, the Ancestor Healing now finally being locked in. The Bloodlust Dream was real, but it was not real enough. Now, Kid using Arthas as an escape pod. Dodging. Ooh, that was close.
It was. The hunt was even used on Arthas there to try and blow him up. The Force Wall's good, friend or foe, but Feed B can't do that. But they are dropping some really nice AoE with those multi-shots. That multi-shot build from Valor, getting good value. Kid not really going for an all-in there. It was just a threatened all-in to give his team time to channel, and they will pick up their second tribute.
Yeah, and SOA took too long to make anything happen. They were running out of mana on multiple heroes. Arthas, I think Rhaegar was also extremely low, so they couldn't really force a decision here before they get out-sustained by the Auriel, which we said earlier doesn't require any mana. Uther was also doing extremely well in that department. Illidan not falling too low. So well played by Hots Lady. They secure themselves another tribute, and a tribute that was actually deeper in the enemy territory at that.
They are having issues, though, due to the fact that they are being chased down. Stitches gets Aegis to buy some time as Valor is dropping some really good damage. 365, 40 could come around for a sneak attack here. Has a Divine Shield himself. Turns around, finds Spark BZ. Guess what? No CC reduction. He gets taken out with that Hammer of Justice. Now they're looking for Faye. Good Force Wall again, though. Buying time. Instead, it's Tassadar. Dimensional Shift. Is it enough? The blind is good from Cassia. Buying time for TY, but it's not enough. TY gets taken out.
TY falls, and so might the top fort here. The mercenaries are joining the fray. Illidan goes in with the hunt just to instill even more fear onto the enemy's hearts, because they know they can't hold and can't defend this top lane. And slowly but surely, the Hots Ladies are taking a serious lead in this fight. And that is huge, because look at that. They just destroyed the top lane. The tribute very conveniently spawns right next to them. A little bit of luck going on here right now, and I think so. There's nothing they can do. No, I'm just going to refresh, by the way, because you're slightly ahead.
It's because I have to keep refreshing because I'm lagging every minute at this point and going up to 20+ seconds, so I'm having to just keep constantly refreshing. For now, I'm on 8/7.
Okay, that should work. 6 and 7 most likely for me.
That will do. So, but yeah, guys, there's nothing we can... The stream's been terrible today. We can't do anything about the whole me being ahead or Kendrick being ahead because we have no control over the stream lagging like this. So, because we do cast from a clean feed, we just have to keep refreshing and trying to keep ourselves up at a relatively synced time.
But as always, we appreciate the feedback. Although, trust us, we are the first ones to notice exactly what's going on.
And there are ways to fix this problem, but they mostly involve Blizzard spending money by flying us out to China or America. Because if we're in China, we can't lag. If we're in America, at least we're lagging together because we'll be on the same PC.
I like those very subtle suggestions you dropped there in the direction of Blizzard, and I certainly wouldn't complain.
Watching, who knows?
You never know who's watching.
Never know. Sophist, if you're out there, see your Steve, get in here. But now, Spark BZ gets hit by a slam. Hook just missing there.
Beautiful. Now we see the increased range on the Howling Blast thanks to his level 1 talent. Could catch people off guard from a larger distance, but as it is, they do not want to proceed here because this territory is very dangerous. This is Hots Lady territory right there, and one hidden hook from Carlo could mean all the difference.
There's a tiny bit of fort left for them to try and gorge into, so there is always the chance of that. Root demounts Uther, but far enough away that it's not going to be a huge deal. Uther just remounts and backs up. But this has, however, bought time for SOA as Tassadar is coming to rejoin the team.
Yeah, and level 13 is now online here as well for a start over again. So the nullification for Tassadar is huge against Illidan. Carlo being locked down, and the Crystal Aegis needs to be used.
Very nice Aegis, though. That was very well executed. Is the hook going to come out? Very patient. They didn't know who to get. Kid is not here, but he has the hunt, so that does not matter.
Yeah, that was a prime example of how to use the Crystal Aegis. Do not use it on targets that are already sitting at 10% HP, because the chance of them popping up after the Crystal Aegis expires is very high. So instead, use it on targets that are sitting at 50%, 60% of the health, and ensure their survival after the Crystal Aegis shatters. So right now, this is a very ballsy, a very risky call, though. Tassar dealing with a mercenary camp in the middle. I think they just wanted to fake it and lure the enemy team into a better position for a hook to land.
Potentially indeed. We do, by the way, see at level 13 for Cassia the grounding bolt, the slowing spears coming out from her so that she can chase down allies a little bit more, and also gives herself a little bit of kiting potential.
Yeah, I agree, especially against Illidan or Stitches, who are more than likely going to be in your face 24/7. The slowing effect from that talent can really help you out to kite, as Tetris said. In the meantime, though, we saw the preemptive cleanse. You never know. You want to be safe than better be safe than sorry here, especially since Tassar is nowhere near to be found. A detainment strike against the wall. Spark BZ remains safe for now. The hook into downtown coming on the Sonya.
It's Sonya, though, so she's pretty fine. In fact, she gets a shield and goes in for Feed B, who is forced into a vault. Good shield, good dimensional shift to dodge the hunt from Illidan. Ball Lightning comes out, getting a full set of bounces. Divine Shield and Illidan, though, allowing him to cause some crazy mayhem. But he ran into Arthur's, but the Force Wall guarantees only the kill onto Uther. Can they get a turnaround kill? The hook was good on Sonya, but they're running out of health on this fort. Yep. It will go down, and that's going to be the end of any snipe opportunity. It's actually still alive.
Yeah, and I love the fact that SOA cancelled the onslaught here. They need to secure this tribute. That is their top priority. Kid, in the meantime, dueling Faye in the backline. In the meantime, we also see Arthas holding the front line. Carlo now isolated, taking loads of damage. The devourment of that Arthas is good, though.
The Force Wall is also really good to save Arthas here. The brute lands on Valor. Faye takes a couple hits from the boss that was still aggroed. They've delayed the
They don't have mana anymore, Tetra.
So much damage, they forced them back.
They need to go back. They can't compete with the healing anymore, despite the fact that Hots Lady is low themselves. The fact that they had no healing left on the Rhaegar, barely any mana left on Arthas, once again really forced them to retreat, and that is so important. It really shows us how important it is to force those issues very early on.
Faye,
oh yeah, Faye is playing with fire. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Don't get rooted. There we go. Rhaegar arrives, drops a heal, drops a totem, and he will be able to heal back up.
There we go. Look at that beautiful SOA banner here, by the way. If you want to get one of those juicy HGC banners or sprays yourselves, you just need to go over to twitch.tv/BlizzHeroes and use your fair amount of Twitch bits in order to unlock those cool goodies.
You can also get emotes that I expect someone will inevitably spam in the chat. If not after the game, I will. So, we have the attack speed buff for Ariel here, so even if Valor is focused down and killed off, she can drop that on Illidan, get some value out of that.
Yeah, it feels good, man, if you're Ariel and you have 2 juicy targets in your roster that can benefit from that 16 talent. As you said, Valor should be the go-to target because Illidan is already attacking very fast as it is.
Gonna refresh.
Shout out to Doge Hots here, by the way, in the chat, representing those Hots ladies. I like it. In fact, I think Kinamu actually joining the fray here as well. I think those are the only Hots lady emojis I've ever seen in Twitch chat. So keep it up, guys. Proud of you.
I don't even have the Hots lady ones.
Here we go.
So for now, Carlo, I forgot to say, Carlo getting the tribute here as Kid clears up that boss, which has done a fair amount of damage to the keep, though.
Yeah, this might actually be an easy keep to destroy here for SOA the moment Hots Lady is not paying attention to, especially with heroes like, you know, Sonya. Once they get close to those structures and they don't get stopped immediately, they can really turn on the heat.
And turning on the heat would be exceptionally useful right now, as we do see SOA trying to push forward. The Force Wall's good. He's in the Aegis. This time the hunt did land. I don't think T-Wipe realized was so close. Illidan is now so close to death as he's taken out and goes to the afterlife. Hook and Gorge, though, is landed behind the gate. Gets it. Sonya's Ancestral, she's still alive. They're trying to kill her, but they kill the wall, and Sonya gets out.
Sonya gets out. Protect Private Sonya. Mission successful for SOA. Well done. That ancestral over the wall was beautiful. And the destruction of the wall as the lowest HP structure. Very well executed. And finally, SOA gets the tribute. Well deserved. And I'm going to restart for the second time.
What?
Getting a little bit triggered. I'm sorry. Too
Lag.
many restarts on the lags and
Me
freezes.
too. I'm at 9.
Yeah, I think 9 is fine because that sounded funny. Because I'm sitting at 8, so we should be okay.
We'll deal with it. Okay, I'm at 10, 9. 10 and 9, don't care. At this point, don't care.
Yeah, we're just going to do our thing right now.
Try to take the keep. Yeah.
Exactly.
If Blizzard wanted us to if Blizzard didn't want this to happen, they wouldn't have made us do it with a clean feed. As we see SOA attempt to move in and puts pressure onto the key.
The golden hook.
Lands. Bye Molly, threading the needle.
That was the exact right target to go for. The Cassia is no more. The next target is going to fall in an instant. Uncle G says bye-bye. 2 for 2 though, as there is bloodshed happening in the Hot Lady base. In the meantime, the top keep fell. Middle keep is about to fall as well. Feed B, you can't chase, bro. You need to defend our base.
Feed B is dropping so low. He just keeps him alive for now. He's trying to micro back. I would love to tell you if he's dead. No, he's alive still at the moment. Last time I saw him, there we go. He's okay.
Oh, and another keep falls.
All the keeps.
There were too many minions charging in there as well, and that is now a big advantage. Level 20 achieved as well. Which Storm talents are we going to see here for Cassia in particular? Very interesting. Are we going to see the Endless Lightning? Or are we going to see the, whatchamacallit, the Titans...
Titan's Revenge or Infinite Lightning. No imprisoning light here. I would quite like the Infinite Lightning. I think it would be really good because you still bounce off the Divine Shield, so might as well just wait out the Divine Shield and keep the bounces going.
Yeah, especially against Illidan. If you are in that 1 versus 1 situation against Illidan being really close to you, like, you can just pop him up and he needs to retreat sooner or later if he doesn't want to take that Lightning anymore.
I mean, there's no... Other than Uther, there's a little bit of armor for Titan's Revenge to go through.
I mean, so Titan's Revenge is a great talent, don't get me wrong, especially against Uther, with the Stitches being very tanky as it is. So, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I'm down, but let's see what they do end up going for. She is holding it a very long time. She's already alive. It's not so much a situation of, oh, I was dead, I forgot to pick it. Actually, who knows? Maybe she did forget to pick it. We don't know.
Yeah.
As we do see SOA beginning to set up. They're going to be patient. They've got a delicious bait dog there with Rhaegar trying to be bait, but now they're going to try and make a play, wrapping around.
Keep in mind now the force barrier is online, so we're going to see permanent walls here. The Great Chinese Wall by Tassadar will be built constantly, and it never stops.
Speaking of never stopping, like you said, the Infinite Lightning is coming in at level 20. As level 20 is also available for Hot Lady, Redemption, Shield of Hope, the Hungry Stitches, Bolt of the Storm for Illidan, and Farflight Quiver for Valor.
I can't wait the next team fight to start, man. There's a lot of blinking going on with Stitches, Carlo eating everybody. Even here he goes!
1, 2, 3.
He's got them all.
4 heroes. Stitches dies to 4 heroes because he gorged them all and made them focus him. Again, has to Aegis himself. Get focused down. Self heal. Shield
the
of
lightning.
Hope, keeping him alive. The lightning just won't stop. Goes, killing off Ariel. Everyone's too split. Kid, he bolts to freedom, but Faye is relentless, chasing him down. 365 is on his own. Down he goes. Kid is still fleeing. The spear for chase. Get him, Siege Giant. Save me. Catapult doing damage. Good hammer there. Kid is still on the run. He needs to escape. He's got nowhere else to run. Over the wall. No, Faye is able to get it. The rest of the team, though, they didn't end the game while that was happening. Uther revived and actually beat back to base.
Why did they go for the tribute?
It didn't do anything. The game thing there.
It is only Uther, guys. Go for the core. Let's go. Sonya wasted so much time already. It was just one Illidan. I mean, that Illidan kill was worth it, though, because Illidan could have actually caused some trouble when it came to defending that core. But yeah, the rest of the members should have gone immediately. Yeah, I think they're still going to get it, though. Kind of sloppily executed,
but it's back. Stitches has gorged.
Uh-oh.
Last ditch effort. Too late.
No.
1, too slow. Didn't do it in time. Either way, that is GG. Game number 1 goes over to SOA.
Well played in those last engagements. Really solid. But as you said, Tesher, I think it all went south for Hot's Lady when Carlo was literally biting off more than he could chew. Like, he chewed 4 heroes, but once they all came out, he was isolated and cast away from his enemy, or from his allies, and taken out immediately. Also, you could also argue, though, his teammates could have maybe tried a little bit harder to help him, though, because the call... I'm pretty sure the call was made. Guys, I got 4 people in my belly. Help me, please, but nobody came.
For starters, congratulations on the joke at the Playday. That was really good. But yeah, it was a good idea. The attempt to isolate 4 people and hope his team can win a 4v5, a 4v1. Turns out they can't, though, and he just straight up died. So yeah, that did not work.
Alright, not all is lost, though, yet for the Hot Slates. They have one more chance, one more try to come back and salvage at least 1 point out of the series, but